I think you're Filipino, aren't you? Yeah. Kamusta mabuti. There's a Nigerian fella, lots of them here. Maybe Toronto. Maybe he's from Toronto. Doing a little bit of YouTube on the bus. I'm practicing. Yeah. Give you my money. Hey, there you go. How's that, huh? Toothless wonder. Okay. Warm day today. I got my cutoffs and stuff on. Yeah, look at my handsome toothless wonder. Okay. I got my cutoffs on here too today. Fairly warm, was up to around 30-some Celsius yesterday. Lots of fires starting to happen in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, some in Alberta again. I don't know. Gonna try this on the pocket camera. Free hot dogs today down at Recon Scrapyard on Fridays. We pick up used appliances and we part them out sometimes. Do stuff like that. Saw the planetary drives from the buses being thrown out. Hybrid. Make a hybrid bus. They're throwing them out at the scrapyard. We can rebuild them. Articulate bus, the center axle is not driven. Put a planetary, all you have to do is torque the axle. Now you're not stuck on the hill. They lost a whole bus barn in the UK from the lithium fires, battery fires. There's things happening around the world like this. You know, so I don't know how this is turning out. I've got the camera in my pocket here. Whether the voice works real well or not, I don't know. Test it out. My wife doesn't like her Jamaican brother-in-law. The niece has got kinky hair here in the UK. Hey, there's Greenlanders that have kinky hair. You know why? The American grandfathers. It's around the world like this. I'm practicing my YouTube a little bit. I don't know if it's going to turn out here like this or not. Guy's pretending he's got a big church in town here. He uses the American address. Yeah, right, this game. People look at me kind of strange. Most of them got their nose stuck. I say inherited wealth, they got their nose stuck up the rear. You know what that means? Most of them got their nose stuck in their phones. Can't believe half what's on there right at City Hall. It's all edited out in local news. One guy's picture in the paper, Rick Bell, the 20 or 30 year picture. Where it's supposed to be known in the city gates. That's where they did the business at the city gates. The council there from Banff, Alberta, more a resort town in the mountains. Met the one councillor here in town. He's down in Ottawa right now. King Charles is there. The king is coming. The king is coming. Yeah, not during Pentecost. Okay? People are teaching what? That happened 1st century AD, prior to the tribulation. Okay, here's the train here. European style train. See, you got the no catcher in the front. You hit your practically rip your car in half. Safe as any other city. Really. Where are they talking? Edmonton, Alberta? They don't chain it off between the rail cars like in New York. Got staff washrooms, but nothing for the seniors even. Got to walk all the way down to a restaurant down there. And you have a freight train might be crossing in front of you. Come on. Hey, he left his door open. There's the operator. I'm doing your little YouTube.
Sure. Just so you know, this one leaves in about 12 minutes. That one leaves in a couple.
Oh, okay. I'll have him that one. Thank you. Wrong train. The other one leaves sooner. That's why the operator is still going to the other end. Okay. Here we go. Got another operator here. Doing a little more YouTube.
What it's called? And I'll wait.
Okay. We'll get down here. Here we go. Oh, there's our friend from the bus. Kamusta ka mabuti, hey? Yeah, you're Filipino too.
No,
She is.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah.
From Mexico.
From Mexico?
Yeah.
The big volcano's going off down south of Mexico City.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was flooding in Cuba and Caribbean the last couple of years, even before the hurricane came in. That's why it's so dry up northern Canada.
Yeah.
And they found magnifying glasses up north of the fires. We're not being told this. Yeah. So you from the northern part of Mexico or southern?
I'm from Jalisco.
Huh?
I'm from Jalisco, Leon. So it's some random place in like the middle of the desert.
Okay.
My family comes from like farmers.
Mexican Mennonite?
What?
Mexican Mennonite, are you? I know they come work up Tabor here. The Mexican Mennonites down there have farms too, like some like the colonies here, the Hutterites.
Something similar to that.
Yeah. What kind of farm? Cattle or?
Yeah, we do cows.
Yeah.
Cattle, horses, sometimes chicken, but it's been really dry, so.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes not.
See, Manitoba is colder, and I'm from Saskatchewan. It's they have more confined space barns, like turkey barns and stuff like that, because it's actually too cold for the cattle in the wintertime. I got cousins in Kansas, and the big feedlots are in southern Alberta here, because it's a little bit warmer. The cattle don't like. My dad in the little feedlot, he never even bothered fattening the cattle in the middle of January. He lost a couple. No, it's not good. It's too cold. Okay? And people need calories to stay warm too. I do fasting. Spare tire. Were you in the Philippines?
I haven't.
Okay, I met my wife in Hong Kong.
Doors normally open on the left.
I was talking to a Filipino guy on the bus.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them don't like us foreigners. You know what? We're competition for them.
Yeah.
Bolivia, down there, I found out something in Bolivia. One time they had, from the different wars, they had 70 or 80% of the men were killed.
Yeah.
A guy came from Europe, Gustafson is his last name, practically royal family maybe, and he had money, he had a big farm and stuff. They let him have all kinds of wives. What? There wasn't hardly any men? I think this is why Solomon had so many wives too. And out of Chester
Fish
Lake
Creek
here.
Lacombe Station.
Maybe some of the people will be from up in the U.S. We're having a baptism out there. Some people are up from Lethbridge. How many times does Solomon get baptized? How many wives did he have? Every time he got married, he had one. We're not taught the history. We are not taught the history. Okay? Like, it's all around the world. Volcanoes going off. Everything. We're not being told. Okay? Like, my mother comes from the Ukraine. The big drones, it's a business opportunity for young people. They just made the big drones legal in Canada here. We can grow the mushrooms underground, cross them in wheelchairs here, and it'll help feed the greenhouse.
Fish Creek Lacombe Station.
You qualify
Doors
for
normally
federal ag
open on the
production?
left.
I don't. My oldest grandkid will be 18 soon. And my ex-brother-in-law is in the farm in Saskatchewan. It's like, he talks to me at weddings. He knows what happened. I lost a family farm. One guy even shot himself in the car in Solmon when Mount St. Helens went off, 1980. They changed the weather big time. We're not being told. What causes hurricane? You have to have 40 degrees Celsius temperature. Most of them start off the coast of Africa. Where's all the Nigerians coming from? 5 times the population, all of Canada, one country. Like what? Mexico City's like 10 million or something?
Yes.
10 times the size of this. Like, we think this is a big city. Manila. You from Manila?
Yes, I have.
What's Manila area? Something like 20 million?
I think it might be around there or more.
Oh, like, so the majority of people live on coastal areas and on major waterways. 80 years ago, Saskatchewan and Alberta was the same population. Saskatchewan hasn't really grown in 80 years. They were drilling oil there. The government thought there was going to be a shortage of oil. They'll beg us for it. And they didn't going to do it themselves. The American company pulled out. 6 months later, they found oil here. Now it's 4.5 times the population. In the wintertime, it drops. The resort areas drop to half the
Doors normally
population.
open
Why?
on the left.
People sell their house here, buy there, nice beach weather, and take a chartered plane to Costa Rica, Panama. They're not there in the wintertime. Why? It's cold.
Yeah.
My wife found it too hot in the Philippines in hotter weather. Okay. I should sell you our house in the Philippines. Her mother's moved from New York to North Carolina now. Okay. I've never been there. I met my wife in Hong Kong. But she doesn't want to sell her house. I make jokes about that. My ex-wife was a good housekeeper too. You know what the rest of the story is? Good housekeeper, she kept the house. Me? Hit the road,
next
Jack.
stop is Anderson Station.
I got 8 grandkids. I tell them to have a few more. My one stepson is in San Diego where the plane crashed. I knew it before he did. Information. He didn't even know. I saw the water tower. He came home that night and said, yeah, I guess it did hit here on the other side of the water tower. And they're upgrading the electrical because they pulled down the power line. So I knew it. So I did a little YouTube on that one too. And they said something about the weather conditions wasn't being reported. The weather tower, I had to look it up, gives the altitude for their adjustment on their altimeter, and it wasn't working. How come the plane crashed? He couldn't adjust for the altitude, and it was foggy, and he hit the power line. Yeah. Different things happen. The Washington, D.C., that's a freeway for helicopters. How many helicopters around there, flying them maybe a little higher than they should have. But the plane had a warning going off. Traffic. How come they don't have cameras on the bottom side of the plane? American FAA approvals is a nightmare to get anything on an aircraft. That's why the Canadian plane
Anderson Station.
took the
Doors
Americans
normally
off
open on the left.
Antarctica in the middle of the winter years ago. Why? They knew this guy in town up north, came from a farm in Saskatchewan, was putting stuff on his plane for cold weather, and he didn't care it was FAA approved. The Americans knew that, so they got that guy to go into Antarctica. The gyrocopter company down here, maybe for promotion during the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, are built in China. Why? American FAA approval. We think it's making it safer? Even on trucking? The main mirror can get cracked, bird hits a mirror. They don't care what's frozen over. You don't have to have a heating element. Don't have to have cameras, nothing. We should have a plus and minus system. So many points in a certain category.
Southland
You
Station.
got a good camera, plus. You got a heated mirror, plus. You got a cracked mirror, minus. So many points in a certain category. But they don't. They penalize the companies and the owners if what they had 50 years ago isn't 100%, and they give no credit for trying. The trains? Steel wheel on a steel rail. You call that emergency braking? I don't. You know what they do in Japan?
Southland Station.
Their high-speed
Normally open on the
rail
left.
stops very quickly. How? Magnetic. We can do stuff. Okay? Down in South America, they want to spend about 10 times as much as New York did on their underground expansion. Okay? Because we're only a million population here. They're doing in South America, starting in Colombia and some other countries down there, they're using cable cars. Not just go up the mountain for a ski lift. They got them out here. You can go all the way around town. You can go all the way to Chestermere Lake for a fraction of the price. Oh, they think they're so progressive? They get a diploma
The next stop is
on urban
Heritage
planning, and
Station.
they don't know a thing what big trucks do. Like, what do you do? How long you been here? Huh? Well, you're growing in Manitoba. What part of Manitoba? Okay. You know, there's a short line rail company out of there called Can-Do Rail. Do you know them? Yeah, well, they supply the older locomotives at these grain terminals and companies and stuff. They're out at Brandon, Manitoba. I know that. My one son's with CPKC from Saskatoon, so I kind of watch this stuff, and I'm interested doing safety stuff. Here's something. I was at a Filipino house, got the chair up, ionization only with carbon monoxide on the ceiling. That should be at your ankle. And photoelectric smoke
Heritage
detector,
Station.
Norway made it mandatory 3 years ago already. Goes off 30 minutes sooner from the toxic smoke from the lithium batteries. Calgary Fire Department City Council knows this. We just slough it off. There's people dying in Calgary. The house is not getting out. Queensland, one guy at Princess Ottawa says, "Oh, it's only a rental."
You have to do next one.
So sometimes I go down to City Hall. They weren't there yesterday. I think the guy from Banff, I met him. He's in Ottawa. Well, I go see King Charles on our dime. The preachers are doing this too. Travel around the world. Conference. He just got back from a conference in Ottawa. One time he got back from a conference on a Caribbean cruise boat.
The next stop is
Just after having a tour of
Station.
Israel. Then he teaches the people should give more. It's all about the money. It's all around the world like this. Okay. I was on live radio with a guy, group from the Philippines one time. Hey, he didn't understand. The ambassador from another country represents the nation. Read it. Zechariah chapter 14. 3 times it mentions. And we don't even know it, the Feast of Tabernacles. I had to learn this stuff. We're not taught it. There's no sheep in the high country of Israel in December. There is in the fall during the Feast of Tabernacles. But we're not taught that. No. And everybody likes a little baby. Yeah. Hey, Easter bunnies? No. We don't understand it. And it's like a high-tech magazine. I study this computer stuff. My wife's into that more than I am. I got kicked out of school for that. I don't understand. Like a mouse? That was what we used to trap. What's a mouse? Well, that's the computer thing.
Chinook Station. Doors
I didn't grow up
normally
with this
open on the
stuff.
left.
It's nice talking to you.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
have
gotta
to-
go downtown, and then I go across here to free hot dogs on Fridays. Let's see ya.
See you guys.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe we got, see if they got this running here yet or not. I don't know. Chinook Station here. There's Chinook Station, and it's still running. We got 22 minutes. Talking to a few people on the train. A guy was from Mexico, and his girlfriend is Filipino. Okay. Friend or girlfriend, I don't know which. Most people just got their nose stuck in their phone. Kind of just tune out, you know. Tune out.
The next stop is 39th Avenue Station.
Can't believe half it's even on me. So, I'm doing a little YouTube. That was a big mall over here. Okay. Or the main street that's just on the other side of the train track here. Chinook Mall. A friend of mine has a auto body shop there. $7 million worth of property with no offer. It's right next to the train, and they're borrowing money on it all summer long. The auto body shop. Not enough work in the summertime. Yeah, well, they inherited it. The 3 brothers. Their dad was into it. Something like the big farms inherited. They haven't got a clue what to do with it. I told them, take an equity position with a builder and put in apartment blocks. You have to put them on acoustics. It's too close to the train bells. The one hotel had trouble. That's where the immigrants are staying. They had trouble too close to the train bells. Ding, 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 ding late at night. Okay. There's things to do. Lots of things to do. So I don't know how this voice is coming through. I have to check it later on. Going through the tunnel here. This cemetery over top of us here.
39th Avenue Station. Doors normally open
Here we
on the
go.
left.
I thought we passed a pawn shop. That's the main street up there. A friend of mine used to have a RV parked in the back. He pawned it off. He let him stay there. He has free security for him. I don't know what happened later on. I heard he died in his car. He lost everything gambling. He was addicted to gambling big time. Lost the airplane and everything. Had a place out of town here near a town called Canmore. Bus driver had to go back driving. They marked him. Yeah. Bank gave him a line of credit. I think somebody, yeah, space for advertising. Okay. This car lot is owned by people with the auto body shop. There was a little Ingleham. I know the guys from Saskatchewan. Okay. There was a tow truck I looked at there. This auto body shop, Christ is the answer. McLeod Trail Auto Body. Still got the for sale sign on there. Had no offers on it at all. Yeah, well. Take an equity position with the building. Oh, well, they don't want a hole in the backyard. It says they can put the whole thing overhead. Okay. See, people live up here. On the other side of the street, the gas station over there, it's all Portland. That's the main street. The buses got stuck in the hill there. Well, got summer tires on. It says regroove, but cut them down. The farmers and block truck drivers got to do the tread. The highway, when it wears down, you can actually cut them deeper. They're going through the tunnel. This is graveyard on top of this. I went out there one time. People were talking last fall, so I went out there to see any activity in the graveyard. Hey, probably most of the great multitude, Revelation 7, will be found in the grave. How many of us are so lukewarm is pathetic. The guy yesterday, I said, yeah, you're so complacent. Complacency and apathy. Maybe the problem, but who cares? Love waxes cold. Why? Covetousness, materialism is rampant and there's nothing said about it. Rich young ruler thought he did everything right. Jesus said, go sell your house, what you have. Help the poor and downtrodden. Encourage them, help them. Nah. To get a little offering, you want even a tax deduction. Ezekiel 34. Evil is being called good right from the pulpit. That's the abomination, covetousness, 10th commandment, Mr. Adventist. Not just the 4th commandment. You're all into the 7th day Saturday. But you don't understand. Passover is a high annual Sabbath and a weekly Sabbath. He resurrected on one day.
The next stop is Victoria Park Stampede Station.
Revelation 14, verse 4. A little river there. Famous Calgary Stampede area here. Okay. Used to be oil equipment outside here. Last time there was nothing outside, and even bother going inside. The big concrete show in Nevada, I think it's kind of holding its own a little bit better. Guys, it's a party town for the morning. A friend of mine booked the trade show, took his whole family down there. Okay. Casinos all over the place. Americans funding through there show that it's they won. No, they lost how much, but now it's pretty low. Yeah, Al Capone did this.
Victoria Park
Did jail
Stampede
time in
Station.
Alcatraz
Doors normally open on the right.
for tax evasion. Now, the vice president could pardon Trump. Hey. Canadians, 3-year diploma, didn't even know how to take a company public. IPO. A guy at one bank, he was American, he knew what an IPO was. The other guy at a business center, downtown Calgary, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like, give your head a shake. Used to have the functions more at noon. And who wants to go downtown Calgary at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? They closed the bigger center, don't even have an ATM machine out near the big casino, truck stop, Prince's Auto. It's like, what's that name? Yes. Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight. I'd be very surprised if they're not connected somehow. Got much the same stuff. Princess Auto used to be out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. They had the Army Circle stuff out of there. My uncle went down and picked up a whole truckload of stuff. Helped her drive there and back. My uncle was doing strawberries and raspberries, drip irrigation and stuff. I should have got involved with it more. We were into more just green farming, big equipment. He wanted my dad to grow pumpkins one time. One time we had a corn patch selling corn on the streets of Regina. Knew the mayor. Dad was good friends more with the mayor's brother. My uncle was the mayor. My uncle was friends with the premier of Alberta here. Had coffee with those Preston Manning. He's still around. I don't know, probably in his 80s now. I'm in the big 7 old. Israel is 77 years old in May this year. Jacob was 77 years old when he married Leah. Do you hear what he's saying? 7 candles on the menorah. I used to see. How come the Swiss Guard was at the Pope's funeral? Yeah. That's happened during the time of Napoleon. 2 of the popes were taken captive. Now read Revelation chapter 13. What are they doing? Pushing it all into the future. Zechariah chapter 6 says the branch. Who's the branch? He built his temple before him. After him. What are they teaching? Amos 1, Zephaniah 2, Gaza. I just mentioned the missiles going off. Zechariah chapter 5 with the preacher don't want to read it. That preacher, I told him, I was in seminary when he was still in diapers.
City Hall, Boulder College.
He doesn't want to learn.
Doors are open on the right. Welcome to TD.
Accused me of interrupting a young lady. It happened to be my wife. That was kind of cute. There we go. Getting off the train. Yeah. You notice those doors like Minneapolis Airport. No chains between the rail cars. It's a European style train. The German Siemens. But New York chained it off between the rail cars. Here, you want a washroom, you gotta find some restaurant, super locked up. Gotta buy something. Okay, I'm leaving New York. Might have to pay $1 or $2. But right here, at the intersection, there's no cross arms for the traffic. The street could be icy. Get rear-ended, shove you right ahead in front of that pitch. You'll cut right through your car. And then they turn around and say, safe as any other city. What city are they talking about? Edmonton, Alberta is the capital. Why? That was a better freight route system through northern. That's about the furthest northern city from the American border. It's only about 6 hours American from Edmonton, Alberta. Most of Canada lives within a couple hours of the American border. Why? It's warmer. Here, see. No gates. Yeah, right at the new library down there. It's not magnetic locked, but there's absolutely no gate here. You know, it's safe as any other city, really. There we go.
I'm going to put it to work.
A few people every year get injured or killed, casualties on this train. Could go at City Hall. Nobody there yesterday. No use even going there on Friday or Monday. Super long weekend, every weekend. Then they discuss things without even having a local county here. They're discussing the water reservoir. Kept on saying, well, the counties, most of the reservoirs in the county. So they put a gate up and a few signs to keep the teenagers off the ice and the water. Gonna take 40 or 50 minutes. Calgary Fire Department. I asked the assistant guy that looked at the drones. He said they looked at it. Well, I can look online too. They got a helicopter. One or two of them even in Calgary for the police. 40 or 50 minutes. They can't use the helicopter? 40 or 50 minutes if the boat's not busy on with the rafters on the little river. Huh? What? Little park over here. I think they're putting in some more winterized units. We see a little. I actually learned how to skate in here. In front of City Hall. In between my trucking jobs. Fighting for the paycheck. Yeah, only took me 8 months one time. Federal Labor Board, interprovincial truckers said they owed me the money. Only took them 8 months to get me the money. What do you think that protest in Ottawa was all about? A trucker from the UK was fed up. Had his plane ticket in his pocket. The truck seized. Taxpayer got hung up. 100% financed by Volvo. Huh. They don't do that for Canadians. You gotta have your down payment. No, the taxpayer back loan. Volvo didn't lose money on the truck. The taxpayer did. Did media tell us that? No. So I don't know how this. Have to watch through this YouTube. See it. Maybe too much wind noise. So. Hey, where's the Calgary Tower? Used to be one of the larger buildings. Now they got other big ones around it. Here's the bus. Number 1. Now that goes up to the other subscription in the Forest Lawn. I was there yesterday. Okay. I want a different bus to go up through what they call the Ogden Market. Here's the Calgary Tower with the peak there, the red. Okay. A CPKC has an office in there. Only a block and a half or so from the LRT system in Calgary, Alberta here. There's a nice view from up there. Used to be the higher building, but now you got other bigger, higher buildings around. These little shelters help a little bit in the winter time, but the air gets underneath. They're not heated. Some of them have some heaters, infrared, but sometimes they don't even have them on. Where's the door? There it is. Right here. No door. Kind of plastic plexiglass. Sometimes they crack them open too. Bust them, fan open. It just keeps the winter breeze off you a little bit. Pretty cold sometimes to try to catch a train. And they don't seem to care. They'll drive away on you. Last train of the night even. Just got the ticket, the light went off. Lady's looking right at me and drove away. I should have put my fist through the window. Wonder why. Like their whole attitude. It's not their problem. Go to San Diego, stepson's down there. Yeah, the guy waited. He knew somebody was coming, maybe on the train. He waited. So you make the connection to the train or the bus. Okay. How do they try? Here? They don't even try. Why? They got their staff washrooms. They don't even have a washroom for senior citizens. Unreal. Let's have a look at this time, see how we're doing. Maybe I'll shut it down. 41 minutes here, okay. Calgary Tower. Yeah. So, restaurant rotates on top there. Used to be really nice on there. Look around. Now you got the other towers higher. Okay. Here a train going through here. Canadian Pacific, there you go. CPKC now, all the way to Mexico. They're testing underground hydrogen in abandoned oil wells. Proton Energy, the guy's not with the company anymore, the CEO. Okay, I learned a little bit about that through the different connections in the oil industry. 40% of the energy is still left in an abandoned oil well. They have no intention of cleaning up. They can get hydrogen out of them. One, clean hydrogen, the carbon stays underground. Chemical guy, I knew a little bit about it. I was like, okay, how do we make methanol? That's how they make windshield washer fluid. I knew some of the chemical. He says, well, you need a carbon, so it's not green. Hey, Saskatchewan's got carbon capture working, and they're using it to cool the little GE nuclear unit, little portable unit. Okay, I think it's a heck of a good idea. There's CPKC. This is the main east-west line. Goes out to Vancouver, BC. It was politics that pushed that in. Over, they call it the Big Hill. 2 spiral tunnels. Locomotive. 3 of them got killed there another year. Yeah, why? The main better truck route and rail route goes through Edmonton, Alberta, through Jasper, which I believe they let burn, something like Maui. Goes out through the valleys and down through the valleys, Fraser Valley, and this one here has to go over the major, the rock. Yeah. They had to put extra steamers on there years ago. That is pushed in there to keep the Americans. The better freight route goes down through Idaho now. The lentils and stuff from Saskatchewan is being trucked down through that area, corner of BC into Idaho. They bring shipping all the way up Columbia River. Okay. Most people know nothing about this. Hey, I've been down there. I was involved with farming. Growing lentils in Saskatchewan. Most people didn't even know what lentils were. Dad's friends around the better land around Regina, Saskatchewan had no rocks. Dad thought we had too many rocks. Yeah, make a unit, fill it up with water, and punch the rock into the ground. Okay? Don't tell the farmer. That's Elon Musk's grandfather was like that. My uncle built a 2-engine 4-wheel drive tractor for his potato harvester he built. Yeah, I got the bigger tractor one year for my dad. Next year he had a 2-engine, the Johnny Poppers, 2-engine 4-wheel drive tractor. Built it himself. Hey, don't tell the farmer. It's too muddy, I can't get the crop in. Really? Figure it out. I finished seeding canola, only 2 pounds an acre. Mount St. Helens went off. Couldn't even get near the fields. I put canola on. It went into the mud, it grew. Yeah. Harvesting. Major repair. I had it working the next day. The engineers flew from Ontario. My uncle. The other one is involved with politics. So I actually come down to City Hall. This is City Hall here. Okay. Coming up in 45 minutes. Maybe I should shut this off. The bus is coming now. That stuff is back in my pocket again. Oh, this is Max Purple. This goes up through Forest Lawn yet, right? You don't go down through Ogden, do you?
No.
You go up to Forest Lawn?
Yeah.
Okay. No comprende? No comprende.
Huh?
She doesn't speak English. The other guy answered me.
Where's that bus for?
It goes up through Forest Lawn.
That's where I'm going. Oh, fuck.
Oh, you needed that one?
Yeah.
And I saw the number 1 was here when I just got here. I'm going down through Ogden. Big long trains. Maybe about 2 miles long. There's another CPKC on the other side there, going eastbound. This one here is going westbound, probably out to Vancouver, BC. Goes out through the mountains, through Banff, Alberta, into BC. There's some of the men's shelters there on the corner. Still have another one. There's a couple locomotives there. Yeah, I heard the big train, the center locomotives and the back ones were leased locomotives. The dynamic braking was not hooked in the front ones. They had a runaway train before it even got to the spiral tunnels. A snowplow had to get out of the way. We're not being told that. All kinds of things we're not being told. Right here at City Hall, it's all edited out on local news. Theater, Calgary. Yeah. Got these little scooter things. I should figure out how to use that. I think I need a tap on my debit card. I took it off. I don't consider it security. Well, I heard one lady just had $100 limit or something. Well, that wouldn't be too bad. I think, not sure how you even work this thing. Or you put the phone in here or something? I'm not sure. Should figure out how to use this thing. I could ride around a little bit with it, especially in the summertime. Phone won't fit in there. I don't know. Maybe it goes this way. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how it goes. Hey, you guys know how to use these things?
I know you're better off to rent it for the whole day if you're going to use it for more than 2 years.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You got to have your phone in here or something, or app or something?
No, you gotta have that.
Or just a debit card in here? Maybe just a debit
you need
card.
The app, bro. You need the app. What's the app again?
I think we...
What's the name of this shit?
Well, I
scan
know.
Scan this.
Well, I don't know how to do that. I'm actually doing some
You gotta press
Uber right now. I was recording on when I was started this morning.
Yeah, like
So-
press down on that thing. Go press-
Yeah. Maybe the debit card goes in there.
No, you don't scan the debit. You take your phone.
Well, what's this here for?
Oh, okay. Look. It's for slotting your phone, right? So you take it and you press this on your phone.
Okay, so then you know a little bit how to do this, huh?
Yeah, you just take
I was
this.
asking my wife, she's more into it. She didn't even know. Okay, scan that. And then you put the program in here. Okay, I'll do that sometime. Here's my bus. Oh. Hey. Where's the Ogden bus?
Often like 3 or 2
Yeah.
should be coming soon.
Okay, thank you.
I gotta start buying real ones.
1960s, so it's not even that old.
What's that? Hey.
1960s Pontiac.
Yeah.
7,500 they were selling it for.
How much?
7,500.
Yeah. I could have had a 59 El Camino. I picked it up off the farm and my dad made it take it back to the other farm. 59 El Camino.
Nice.
I should have took my uncle's place. You know, the one with the wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. They love them in Australia, those little quarter tons.
Well, yeah, they like El Caminos and
Yeah. I was over there one time. They like the Spider 3-wheel bike, okay? And I want to make it more winterized to get to Arizona through the mountain passes. You can put an electric motor on the wheel. I'm going down here. They have free hot dogs at the scrapyard on Friday.
oh really?
They threw out some of the planetary drives in the bus there one time. We can rebuild them. And that articulate bus, the center axle's not driven. We can just have a button, torque the axle. You don't need expensive speed control.
I thought the back axle was powered.
The back axle, yeah,
The
it's
back
got the
axle
angel.
is.
But that articulate bus is not good on the hills. Because that center axle is not a driven axle. So it gets stuck. Okay? And they don't want to put on winter tires.
Yeah, they have all seasons because it's
Nah,
too hard to
You,
change.
you read on there, the log truck has a deeper lug. The farmers know this. You wear your tires down, it says regroovable, not like your car tires. I can make that smooth into a grip tire for them. These guys in the city hall haven't got a clue what they're talking about. I think they're in Ottawa right now. Our King Charles is there, huh?
What do you think of modern cars? They look shit.
Hey,
Do you like cars back in your day that look way better, or you think this looks
you
good?
could fix them back then too. I fixed the old ones.
Yeah, they don't want people servicing their own cars.
No. And Carney's talking anything over 20 years old, like in Japan. That's why we get these right hand. I told the guy, get the mirror on the left side. I've seen accidents caused on highways from that. The person coming at him panicked and hit the ditch. Okay? Trying to pass a truck and their right hand steer. That's used to be just a postal. But Japan, the auto manufacturers like it. You know how many farmers use vehicles over 20 years old?
All of them?
Yeah, well, my brother, the little grain truck, the harvester holds twice as much as a grain truck. It's too small now. So he made it into the service truck. A 1964 GMC. It works. It's reliable. You can fix it.
That's why, what was it, the big thing with farmers and John Deere was the right to repair, right?
Oh,
That's a whole issue on its own. But they don't want people fixing their own stuff.
no, it's all about the money. Come on.
I love John Deere.
I do. History to it. Like,
Hey, my
Some
Elon Musk's grandfather was this way in Saskatchewan too. My uncle built a 2-engine Johnny Popper 2-engine 4-wheel drive tractor. Yeah. Don't tell the farmer it's too muddy. Just hook the two of them together. You go down here to Ogden where I'm going here, the little John Deere tractor,
Yeah.
it's got 2 fuel tanks on there. You know why?
Why?
They started on gasoline. It's easier, better starting.
That's okay.
The old diesels were really hard to start. They went with air starters in Winnipeg for the big trucks. That's what they use on locomotives and stuff. And they switched it over to a distillate kerosene type product. It was after it got good and hot. And there's a rod that goes up to the tractor seat to open a little water valve, heated intake manifold. And what's water? H2O. They knew that 100 and some years ago, how to get power out of these things. When the humidity's low, you don't get power out of an engine. The truckers even know. You get better, you can hear it. The farm tractors. Hot summer day, you got no power. You change the fuel filter, clean the air, you got no power. It starts spitting rain, you think you got almost quit working, all of a sudden you got all kinds of power from the humidity in the air. The one trucking company asked me if I had a different fuel card. Government accused me of burning farm fuel. Doesn't have the road tax. They wanted more road tax. I said, we'll see you in court. I was making my own fuel conditioner with canola oil.
Yeah, you can use
Canada oil, that's where they got the name from. I grew it, I knew it, everything else. I don't cook with it. I was putting in my diesel fuel tank. What was I doing to get more combustion? Yeah.
Isn't the issue with oil fuel though is it can freeze or like solidify?
Hey, anything can get solid, but I found out pure virgin olive oil doesn't turn, it's like oil. If it's lumpy, it's not pure. Pure crap.
So it won't fuse. It won't freeze.
Well, your motor oils are thinned out. They got additives in there, multi-viscosity now. They didn't have that years ago. So you'd run a lighter oil. Caterpillar, even way up north, recommended a multi-viscosity oil in their hydraulic system. The additives does not hurt. You don't need it in the hydraulic like in an engine, but they wanted a multi-viscosity in the cold weather. Why? You couldn't get the cylinder to work. And here's something. How come Boric Air took the American off Antarctica in the middle of the winter? Why did they get the Canadian to do that? You know what that company did? They told FAA, take a hike, we're putting the equipment on the plane, we're in cold conditions. The Americans knew there was stuff on that plane that was not totally FAA approved. Now, the plane crashing Washington, D.C., that's like a freeway for helicopters. Maybe they're a little high, but they had a warning going off. Traffic, how come they got no cameras? And they were told to trust the tower. Okay, pilot's dead, blame the pilot. The bridge in Pittsburgh, where was the tugboats? Who told them the tugboats can go on their own? Some bean counter sitting in an office? Then they, what? CP rail, right here. My son is being told to take the train out, 2-mile long train with no conductor on. How come that train wreck in Quebec took out half the town? They said the operator didn't set enough handbrake. There was no conductor to help them. The cab had arrived. But you know where the real problem started? My son told me, you don't have to have wheel chokes. At the top of the hill, leave a train unattended with dangerous goods on, and they don't have to put down wheel chokes. A semi, I was already unloaded, went to the washroom on level ground, and I got rep on that big time because I didn't put down my wheel chokes. Okay? And it's what? Our federal transportation policies. 8 months to get my paycheck. What do you think the protest in Ottawa was all about? And the trucker from the UK was fed up with it, had his plane ticket in his pocket, and I found out the truck is 100% financed by Volvo. Do they finance Canadians 100%? That was taxpayer guaranteed loan as an immigrant. They're just taxpayer. And no, the ATB Bank did not go after their bank accounts. Right here at City Hall. It's all edited out. Rick Bell's picture, I didn't even reckon him. That's a 20 or 30-year-old picture. Go home and check your smoke alarm. Norway made photoelectric mandatory 3 years ago. It goes off 30 minutes sooner from a lithium fire. People are dying in Calgary from this. Rick MacGyver was responsible for the fire code. He just dragged his feet on that too. They know it. And they just slough it off. One guy, Prince's Auto, said it's only a rental. Okay? Illegal money coming into this country big time. Al Capone did jail time in Alcatraz for tax evasion. They nailed Trump. You know what the real problem is? Put him in jail for tax evasion. The vice president can pardon him.
The problem is he's got the lawyers and the police in his back pocket. So
Well, yeah.
Oh, just cover that up.
Hey, El Salvador got rid of half of the drug cartel. You know why they can't get rid of the other half? That's the government. The government just got rid of their competition. The government's padding their pocket. I told my stepson Trudeau was padding his pocket on this medical marijuana. You make sure you find out. He paid for his Porsche car. Yeah. I'm very political. Bears Paw? Calgary Fire Department said it's going to take 40 or 50 minutes if the boat's not busy on the boat. They got a helicopter.
You know what?
Can't they rescue a kid off the reservoir?
Bus? I'm not saying bus, man.
I can do it with a drone, the big ag drone. And the county's really ticked off. How come they weren't called into the council meeting here? They're talking about kept on saying, well, it's in the county, it's in the county. City covered their liability, something like this stuff. Put a sign up, no trespassing on the gate. Their liability's covered. Do they really care about the kids that are playing on the ice in the reservoir? No.
They just want to cover their liability.
That's all they're doing.
Something happens or when something happens.
This train, you won't find an intersection like this right at Europe. No cross arms, pedestrian gate at City Hall is not magnetically blocked. They don't chain it off between the rails. Minneapolis Airport, like Hong Kong, I met my wife there. I don't know about the rest of the city of Minneapolis, but Minneapolis Airport, you can't even go from the platform to the track until the train is there and the doors open on the platform. Safe as any other city, which they say, talk in Edmonton.
It's funny because they say here's safer, but I don't think it is for train. Like,
No, it's not.
They have better train services.
In New York, they chain it off between the rail cars. They have more curved doors. They can go from one train to another. You have to get to the right train on a small platform to get off. Okay, I've been down there. My sister, mother-in-law is down there now. They moved to North Carolina, I think now, and they have washrooms. I might have to pay $1 or $2. Hey, they got no washrooms, no nothing. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, that's senior discrimination.
Actually, yeah, I didn't think about that at first, but yeah, there is like nowhere near the train station is there a washroom.
You know why I go to City Hall sometimes? I go off here, I walk through there, I use the washroom. Way at Shaughnessy, I have to go way down to Wendy's, and the freight train there, I have to wait for the freight train. The guy's public vehicle talked LRT security. They go way over their time. And here, if you guys get hassled with Calgary police, they don't like the Alberta sheriffs. I mentioned that, they drive away.
What do you think of the Canadian industry being very like where it's like each industry has its one big company, nothing else? For example, like groceries.
We're heading to super rich and super poor.
Like,
the last war in Canada was not 1812 in Quebec. They hung Louis Riel from Montana in Regina, Saskatchewan in 1880. The pipeline already goes. There's pipelines already going to Ohio. That's not very far from the East Coast.
bus is yours?
I'm gonna shut this off now. I'll let it go.
Do you just videotape or?
I started this morning and people said, well, give us a tour of the city. I was like, oh, I'll give them a tour. One guy in town here, he's pretending he's a big preacher using an American address. There's only 12 people in the church up on the elbow. What's he trying to portray? That's purple, 302.
I feel like I recognize you.
302. There.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. Thank you. Thank you. Gee, sorry. Almost. I was thinking I should have brought my umbrella and sent them.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
Hey, no, not just that. Maybe one guy had crutches here one time. Got off the train, never used his crutches. We got people. He was pretending his hat.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm doing okay. My wife doesn't like it when I pretend I'm handicapped. I get a free coffee at the Chinook Mall. I'm playing chess with the guys. I'm handicapped. I can't hear. I can't catch.
Right?
My wife doesn't like it when I do that.
I wouldn't imagine.
I passed my eye test in the morning. The bright lights would bother me.
Oh, that's good though.
I just turned the big 7-0. Here's something I preach. Israel turns 77 this year in May now. Jacob, they talk about Jacob's trouble. Jacob was 77 years old when he married his first wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, one wife at a time. That's enough trouble.
that's right.
He had 2 wives. He left with Joseph and his other wife, Rachel, the whole family, both wives at age 4. Subtract 7 years off.
Yeah.
That's this year. And some people, a guy in Ontario, and I'm actually recording this. I started and give a little tour. I was doing some YouTube. One guy put stuff online. I found out he uses American address. The place is up on Elbow.
Oh, okay.
He's only got 12 people pretending he's got a congregation or something, or what's he doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Guy from Hamilton. Pentecost happened.
Yeah.
Okay? The Mexican Mennonites in Manitoba called it Ascension Day. But how many, it's Hebrew is called Feast of Weeks. Well, that happened. How many people resurrected?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't believe anything. Well, that's one issue. But if you say you believe the book, then what do you actually believe? Why don't you read it?
Right.
That's on the Passover day. I had to learn it. It's a high annual Sabbath and a weekly Sabbath. He resurrected on a day called First Fruits. That's Revelation 14 verse 4. It says first fruits. That's the 144,000. Matthew 27 says many resurrected.
Right.
How many is many? 144,000.
Wow.
That already happened first century. So what's coming this fall?
Yeah. So.
Okay? Yeah, well, it's called the Feast of Trumpets. See, the Feast of Tabernacles in the fall. There's no sheep in the high country of Israel in December. See, I grew up knowing this other stuff too, but I was over there once, only once. I saw a hologram, and there was no wall to touch. What are we being told? Everything's in the future. Really? How come the Swiss Guard is at the Vatican?
Right.
I saw it. Okay, on and on and on. How many candles in the menorah? 7 days in our week. See, they had a couple more during Hanukkah. Hanukkah is Mary met Elizabeth. That's the conception. 9 months later, you have the Feast of Tabernacles. Huh? What?
Yeah.
Okay, what are we talking? Everybody likes a little baby, but there's no sheep in the high country of Israel in December. Easter? Easter bunnies. Yeah. See, I've been at seminary. The one guy doesn't want to read it. He's half my age. Accused me of interrupting a young lady of my own wife. Zechariah chapter 5 from Shinar, Iran gives the dimensions of the missiles, the talent of lead. Lead is heavy. It's not a paperweight. That's where the missiles are being fired at Israel right now.
Right.
From Shinar, Iran. Gaza is mentioned. Amos 1, Zephaniah 2. I talked to Palestinians. I said, they don't even know it. I said, one guy up here at the soup kitchen, he says, well, the Muslim, that was written hundreds of years ago. I said, 2,500 years ago.
Yeah.
What are we taught?
Exactly.
Okay. I asked a neighbor, he didn't know much about it. He comes from Moldavia. My grandmother and mother came out as refugees from Ukraine.
Right.
I know the history very, very well. And the big farmers over there big farms are on the New York Stock Exchange. Who owns the land? Who owns the money? There's so much stuff around. We got 3 hot dogs down here at the scrapyard. I'll let get down there.
Oh, okay.
We pick up used appliances. It comes from the Maple Creek colony.
Nice.
So I go down to Ogden Market sometimes, but I'm limping. It's summertime now. I don't mind it as much. Wintertime is really bad.
Yeah, that would be
I have bad circulation. My stepson's in San Diego, where the plane crashed. I saw the water tower online. He didn't even know it. He came home himself. He said, yeah, they're fixing the power line on the other side. That's what he does. Okay? We got so much information right here at City Hall. It's all edited out. Rick Bell's picture, I didn't even recognize him. In the paper, it's a 20 or 30-year-old picture. I didn't even recognize him. Go home and check your smoke alarm. Photoelectric will go off 30 minutes sooner from lithium battery fire. Norway made it mandatory 3 years ago already. Calgary Fire Department too. My wife's Filipino. There used to be the chicken place down here. She knew some people who were living right near there, working at the chicken plant. I know the Ogden Market down here. I used to go there. Hey, here's a question. How many times was Solomon baptized? You know what the answer is? The little hint is, how many wives did he have?
2.
They had to go through the micva tank every time they went into the temple. It didn't just start with John the Baptist. When Peter got out of the boat, I believe he went over his head.
Right.
That wasn't a bird on Jesus. Some friends of mine don't even believe in that. That's a Holy Spirit power. That's reading. We haven't been taught.
Yeah.
Young people are struggling with things. I say there's 1,400 adults got re-baptized in Oklahoma just a month or so.
Is that right?
It's online. I told the preachers that they're too busy. They're too busy doing what? Playing golf with the golf courses? Yeah, that's what they're doing. I've seen it. I know what cars they drive. I see the cars parked there.
Right.
Too busy. Too busy doing what?
Interesting.
Young guy's too busy. They don't want to study Zechariah 5. They says, what? They didn't teach you that in seminary? That's happening now. This is around the world. We travel around the world. How fast? Hey. It's still safer than 100 years ago. 100 years ago, there was lots of problems with aircraft. So it's still safer even now, yeah.
20 and
I
11
don't know. I don't
There's
listen
ways to make it safer too. Railway too. I work with some of this stuff. Steel wheels on a steel rail. Ha! Japan stops their high-speed trains very fast.
Right.
We can't stop the train, really. They haven't really improved it since George Westinghouse air brake 150 years ago. It's all double talk. Talk safety and do the opposite. Drivers and everything, do as you're told. Ship captain, he told me he got static because he told the management that he wanted tugboats on the ship until under the bridge. How come there was no tugboats on the big ship that hit the bridge in Pittsburgh?
Right.
And we're closest East Coast seaport, the pipeline already curls and goes to Ohio. See, we're all just thinking East Coast Canada. No, straight east of Chicago. That's where the big solar eclipse crossed. At Cairo, Illinois. I believe that's a timeline marker. See, our calendars are not accurate. There was a solar eclipse across at Cairo, Illinois, nicknamed Little Egypt in 1811 too. How come the War of 1812 happened and now it's in Quebec?
Right.
They hung Louis Riel from Montana in Regina, Saskatchewan in 1880. I talked to a native, he says he's a Louis Riel man. A lot of them are not very happy with their chief siding with the mainstream media.
Right.
Not at all. Okay? You guys say that, hey, they want to decide in Quebec, he said, we were never in agreement with them. They were never one tribe. They had wars over food supply. I found out different things. Bolivia, the guy came from Europe, there's a same family name in Saskatchewan. The guy's an MP, big farm and everything. And where do you get the money for stuff?
Right.
Royal family practically. And Bolivia, something like 70-80% of the men were killed. It was the welfare system was go live with the king. That's why Solomon was allowed that, I believe.
Right.
They just the population was about to crash. Why? The men were all killed.
Yeah.
They had different wars and stuff. Now we want equality, so now they put the ladies in the fighter planes too.
Right.
Well, they want equality? Okay.
That's how it should be.
Hey. But see, that wreaks havoc on the population too. That's what years ago they... I want to get off here. Where is the stop?
Stop's up there by the place, man.
Huh?
The stop is up there by the fourth pole.
Oh.
This is not the 24, this is the 302.
Oh, okay. I just saw a bus stop and you're going right by them.
Nope, that's not a 302 stop.
Oh, okay.
Your shoe stop is right there.
Yeah, okay. I just have to walk back a half a dozen blocks. Thank you.
Have a good day.